trap like.
What up? This your boy T Mizzle back again with more Marvel Future Fight action. Well, today, guys, we are going to continue our discussion about Iron Fist with the new uniform and about MK. Okay, Moon Knight. That is, guys. So I waited on purpose until after Combat Hero Day to do this video. I looked at all the comments on the YouTube, and you guys were, it's still a lot of debate going on, and that's what we're going to go over today. So this discussion is basically about who do you want to use for Combat Hero Day, Iron Fist with new uniform, or Moon Knight. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is going to take some testing. Okay, I have a lot of mixed results with this. Myself, along with a lot of Alliance members, not even us, but even more players in game, been testing this thing all day yesterday and just all night. I spent hours just trying different setups, and I'll be honest, I still do not have a conclusive answer. I cannot tell you which way to go either way. I can tell you which one I prefer, and of course we're going to go over some gameplay. I know you've already seen tons of videos on the internet. Well, not tons, but it's a couple of good videos on the internet with Iron Fist solo and stuff like that, and getting some really, really good scores. Actually, more than what I really thought he was going to be able to do. I just did not think he was going to be able to pull it off, but I will say I was totally wrong. Iron Fist has definitely came through and has changed the game. So if you haven't already gotten it, the uniform, go ahead and grab that new Iron Fist uniform before it goes off sale. You don't want to miss it, okay? You do not want to miss it. If you are an Iron Fist fan, if you are an active Alliance member that participate in Alliance battle, get the new Iron Fist uniform. I have to say it again. Get the new Iron Fist uniform if you like Alliance battle and you participate and want to increase scores, or if you like the character, go ahead and get that uniform. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this gameplay. Let's first, before we do it, you know what? We'll do that after. We'll look at all the stats afterwards. But what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna show you this clip or this video of some footage of my Iron Fist solo. And I'll be honest, this is not the best, but this is the only one I had recorded. I recorded my phone now because it's a better resolution, and so of course to do it I have to be on my computer, and the video I'm gonna show you is the one I was able to actually record, but I was able to get a higher score, but you'll see as we go. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the gameplay, and then we'll talk about it after you see the gameplay. Again, before I show this, there is a video on the internet, you probably have already seen it, of a higher score Iron Fist. So, again, this is not to show the score because I'm not any good at Iron Fist at all. Still working on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this, okay? Here we go. All right, Fist, let's do it. Buff. Okay, here we go, guys. So, real quick, I'll tell you what I did in this video, and you can go back and stop it, do whatever you want. What I was trying to do in this video is use the 2 skill, which gives 3-second immunity. I was trying to use that as every time it was off cooldown. Okay. Also, I wanted to basically focus on using the 4 skill. Basically, I wanted to use the 2 and the 4 mainly. I didn't want to miss the 4 skill at all. And I'll tell you, and what I mean by that is when you use the 2, you want to get that 4 skill off because that's the skill that does the most damage. And that's the one where you're actually standing still for the longest, which means you're going to get hit by a meteor, and it's a chance for the frost beast to hit you. Okay. So my tactic in this particular video was to use 2 skill, 4 skill every time off cooldown, and of course you're going to notice I have to put in it. You have to use a 3. Try to use a 3 whenever you have a moment to do it, and of course the 5 skill you're going to have to use the 5 to get the DPS. So there's no way to do it. You cannot just use the 2 and the 4 and get the DPS you want to get. I mean, I've tried it and I just don't get it. You have to use pretty much all the skills to get high scores. If you see the video that was posted on the internet, you'll see. Now look, this is what I really want to show you guys. Look at the score at 1 minute 30 seconds. This is halfway through. I'm already over 110,000 here. Okay, so if you was looking at this, you would think, man, this guy's gonna get over 230,000 or something. I mean, just being kind of how we look at it, kind of how we gauge it. That doesn't don't necessarily mean it happens that way, but it's just a combination of procs and stuff like that. It's just, RNG basically. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that because I think that is very important to see. I mean, that lets you know how much DPS Iron Fist is putting out here. I mean, I was at 110,000, 100, whatever it was, at 1 minute 30 seconds. Okay. Again, what I'm doing here: 2 skill for the immunity, 4 skill off cooldown. If possible, if you don't have anything available, use your 5 and of course your 3 for that buff whenever you can, and that's pretty much it, man. So it's really not a rotation. It's basically start off 2 4, then of course your 5 skill when you can, and then 2 4 2 4 2 4 as much as you can. That's what I try to do. Now, a couple things you're going to need to make this work. And I'm going to say that because I don't have it. I do not have an immune to guard break on Iron Fist. Okay. And I'm going to show you all the stats once I get done. But you're going to want to have an immune to guard break on Iron Fist and a snare resist. So you want to have either snare resist as the main and then immune to guard break secondary, or vice versa, immune to guard break with snare and of course your damage proc. I know it's going to be hard to get because I've tried and I can't get one. Don't have one. I don't think I've ever had one. But you want to get that to maximize your DPS with Iron Fist. And the reason why is because if you notice in this video, there's a couple of times I used the 4 skill and it's going to get guard broken, which is going to cause me to lose a lot of DPS. So that run, I got only 194,000. But I know I said only. That's because I could have gotten so much more, okay? I could have gotten so much more out of that run. I wanted to show you that because, like I said, a couple things. I need an immunity guard break because every time you miss that freaking 4 skill, you're missing thousands of points in DPS. So I'm attribute me not getting over the 200,000 like I should have gotten because I didn't have that immunity guard break. And of course, because we're still in the learning phase. Now, I know you're saying that I had a 241K. Well, that was from a totally different team, and I'll show you that as well. Unfortunately, I don't have the video of that particular run because I was probably in my bed at that time, but I do have another video. Take note of the next team here, and we'll talk about this as well. All right, here's the second team, second video. Is it going to play? Okay, let's get it started. How about that? How about play the video? All right, here's the second team. Oh, guys. There's so many possibilities out here. We just don't know what to do. There's a lot of tests that need to be done. So this is the next team I used, okay? And I know you guys have not seen this, but this is something totally different. So we start with Werewolf, use the buff, I swapped in my Moon Knight. Jeez, I can't talk. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the purpose of this build is this. Use Werewolf as basically just for his buff. So the plan is to use his buff until it's up. And then, of course, you got to wait an additional 7 seconds or so. Basically, you got every 23 seconds, you need to put Werewolf in for a buff and then swap to the next hero. So you're going to use I started with Moon Knight. I popped in Werewolf after about 23 seconds. Then I popped in Iron Fist. And you just do that throughout the whole 3-minute battle. Okay, it's basically taking advantage of Werewolf's buff every time it's off cooldown. That's the point of this build. Okay, now normally you would think, wow, you're not using She-Hulk as lead. I'm not for this, and it actually works, guys. It actually freaking works. So there we go again with Werewolf's buff, and just continue your normal routine. And of course with Moon Knight, you just play him like you normally would play him. You guys have been playing him long enough, so there's no rotation really needed. Just play him to the best of your ability and try not to die. If one of your heroes dies, then you mess up the whole run. You have to start over, okay? So you cannot die. So we're about at a minute and 30 seconds. Look at this, look at the points here. I want to make sure you guys pay attention. That's why I brought it up again. We're a little bit higher than we were with the Iron Fist video. Remember, we were about 110, 115. Here we were at 120K. So again, every 23 seconds you're going to have to swap heroes. And I'm telling you guys, it sounds like a very awesome plan, but to do it is so hard. And I practice it. I practice and practice, and I got it right once or twice. Once or twice. I couldn't video 24/7, but I did get this one. This was probably my best run that I was able to videotape for you guys. I said videotape. Jeez, I'm sounding old. But here we go. Almost done here. And you see what happened? My Moon Knight died at 40 some seconds, which is a total fail. That means I didn't get some damage I should have gotten. That was a fail. I wanted to bring that up so you guys noticed that. That was at 46 seconds Moon Knight died. So I should have had another swap with Moon Knight, but I don't get it because he died. So anyway, you'll see we ended with a decent score. And right here, this was when I was testing this was the highest I had gotten at this point. So as you can see, the score is a little bit lower than what I showed on the last video. But anyway, it was a good run, man. It's a good run. Just testing this build out. And the same thing with Iron Fist, you know, use the 2 skill and the 4 skill as much as possible. You want to use those 2 off cooldown, really. Okay, you only use the other skills as fillers. Make sure you use that 3 skill for the buff and the ignore dodge buff. And that's pretty much it, man. There you go, 216. I got 216 using that team with Werewolf lead, Iron Fist, and Moon Knight. So that was the gameplay, guys. So as I said, a lot to discuss. Still a lot of testing. Just so you know, the score of 241. If you remember, that's the score I had when I showed you the first video, the Iron Fist video. The high score 241 is what I ended with for today, and that was with the Werewolf, Iron Fist, and Moon Knight team. So I did score higher with that team, but I'm going to tell you, and I could have had a higher, I think, but I'm telling you, I'm still learning how to play Iron Fist, and I honestly believe that Iron Fist has potential to go much higher solo. But the other team has its potential as well. So again, this is going to take probably another couple of weeks of testing. And it's going to take all of us to keep doing this and keep playing with these two to see which team is going to be the actual go-to team, which one is going to be the best one to get the most points. Now, I can tell you one thing. It is a much harder to play with the Werewolf, Iron Fist, and Moon Knight team. It's much harder to play with that team because the constant swapping. You have to keep up with the time. If you mess up the timing, you're messing up your points. Okay, you're missing out on. You're going to miss out on damage. So what I had to do, I had to write down pretty much an estimate of where I wanted to be because you got to take into account. It's about 23 seconds because of the buff lasts 15 seconds. Then you got like a 7-second time frame in there. For the cooldown for you to be able to actually use it. I don't know, it's like a 23-second cooldown, whatever the cooldown on that skill is. So you got to time it just right, and then you got to swap in. So it's a couple of seconds lost. So about every 25 seconds or so, it seems like you're going to have to do the swap. So kind of use it like that. You might miss a second or two, but it's really hard to keep track of. But anyway, that's the way you use that team. And then the Iron Fist team is so simple to do it. The only problem is you have to use that 2 skill off cooldown. If you do not use that 2 skill off cooldown and you're not a skilled player like myself, not a skilled player, you will die. Okay, and the point is to keep his immunity up as long as possible and use that 4 skill as much as possible, and of course weave the 5 and the 3 in when you can do that. Okay, so that's what I've done. That's my testing so far. Like I said, I feel good about both teams. I think both of them have the potential to score a lot more points. But again, still in the testing phase. I know if you look at YouTube, look at YouTube like I do, you've seen the video of him scoring 232 points. I think that's what Echoing did. I think it was. He scored 232 with Iron Fist solo, which is very doable. I mean, I honestly think he can do a lot more. I think he can probably go up as high as 260, 270 solo with the right person playing, and once we learn the rotation and learn how to play him a little bit better, and then once we max out all his stats. I mean, because right now my Moon Knight is more maxed than my Iron Fist. So anyway, so that's pretty much it for the video. Let's go ahead and show you the stats real quick. So I'm going to show you the stats with my Iron Fist in this team, and let you see what he has. So here's the stats in the team that you saw him soloing. I mean, I'm almost maxing everything, about 1% on crit on the cooldown and 1% on the ignore defense, which is not a big deal. Crit damage max. Try to get the crit rate as high as possible, and he has high attack speed anyway, and his energy damage is really, really massive. The good thing is I still have a lot more room because my ISO set, Power of the Angry Hawk, is not quite finished. So when I get done, I should have probably 23, I'm hoping 22, 23K energy attack. That's what I'm hoping to have, all right? And of course, I used a snare resist, but only 140% damage proc, okay? Like I said, you want to get an immunity to guard break for Iron Fist because of his 4 skill. It can be guard broken, okay? Make sure you remember that. And then, of course, you know, the Euro, we don't need to show those. You just got to make up for the stats that you need, okay? And that's pretty much all you need to do on that. And let's see, I'll show you what he looks like in a team with Warwolf leading and Iron Fist as the second one. So let me show you what that looks like, just so you can see the stats with that team. Uh-oh. So with this team, he looks a little bit better. He has max cooldown here. He's a little bit, he almost maxed ignore defense. It's good enough. Crit rate is good, and also you're going to get more crit rate in the game because of Warwolf. Okay, so the crit rate is going to be a little bit higher there, and his attack speed went up. So he's actually a little bit better with this team here as far as stat wise. And that's the same thing with Moon Knight. As you can see, my Moon Knight is pretty decked out. He's at 23k physical attack, so he does have more attack than my Iron Fist, and he's a little bit more max on all the rest of them, even higher crit rate and everything. So there you have it. And that's because of the uniforms, guys. I have the uniforms maxed on my Moon Knight, but not quite finished on my Iron Fist, okay? So those are the stats. I want to know what you guys think. For as far as I'm concerned, Iron Fist is a go. Moon Knight is a go. Any of these teams will work. I suggest you play with both of them and see which one suits your play style. That's the best way to do it, okay? I think that with any of these teams, we can get over 250k, okay, for that combat hero day. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Make sure you hit that like button, guys, and I can't wait to hear what you think. I hope you like this video, and of course, if you want more, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, and we're gonna bring you more of this content. So that's it for me today, and this is T Mizzle, and I'm out. Peace.